ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम्
Lost you.
गुरुपरम्पराम् साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं वरमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारम् प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेण स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। Under the topic of Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti, this is the topic we have seen after Anubandha Chatushtayam, and before that we have seen what is Purushartha, Shastra, and all those things. So you can see the connection. So now, in this topic of Sadhana Chatushtaya, we have seen the first two qualifications, which are the important qualifications, Viveka and Vairagyam. And in the previous class, we started our discussion on the third qualification, which is Samadhi. Shatkam. Shatkam means a group of six. Shatkam means a group of six. Samadhi Shatkam means a group of qualifications which begins with Shama. The other qualifications of the Shatkam are Damaha, Paramaha, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam. The last class we have discussed Shama, and today we will take up the next qualification in the Samadhi Shatkam, which is Damaha. Dama. What is Damaha? We have seen in Tattva Bodha the definition of Dhamma. Chakshuradi Bhagyendriya Nigraha. Dhamma. Dhamma is also Nigraha, like Shama. Shama is mind management. Nigraha means management, mastery. Mastery over your mind is Shama, and mastery over the organs of perception and the organs of action, it is called Dhamma. We know that we have a set of organs, Pancha Jnanendriyani, five sense organs of perception, which we know. We have studied in Tattva Bodha, so I am not repeating again what are they. So we know that. Similarly, we have five organs of action, Pancha Karmendriyani. That also we know. And both these, Jnanendriyani and Karmendriyani, they are external to the mind. External to the mind, and therefore they are called Bhagya Indriyani. Without the mind, these Bhagya Indriyas cannot operate. But they are external to the mind. External to the mind means they are in contact with the external objects backed up by the mind. And therefore, the management of mind is Shama, and the management of sense organs is Dhamma. Through the sense organs, the information, the data flows into the mind, and the mind processes it. And after that, decision is made whether to go ahead or to withdraw. So, at the external level itself, we are shutting it down, or we restrict the flow of sense objects towards sense organs, and that is called Dhamma. Channelizing the faculty of perception and the faculty of action for our spiritual growth, that is called Dhamma. In Vedanta Sara, Dhamma is defined as Bhagyendriyanam tat vyatirakta vishayebhyah nivartanam. This definition is appropriate definition from the standpoint of listening to Vedanta for the people who want to do Shravana, who understand what Vedanta is, who have the conviction and the Shraddha in that Vedanta Shravanam. So this definition, it says that restraining these sense organs from all objects, all Vishaya, other than Shravanam, other than listening to Shastra, it is called Dhamma. And this management, this mastery of the organs, both organs of perception and the organs of action, it is possible either by number one, dosha drishti. Dosha drishti. Seeing the defects and the limitations of all the pleasures which we derive through our sense organs. Any pleasure which we derived through sense organs, it is going to be limited. There is nothing called unlimited source of pleasure, unlimited source of joy. In fact, that which gives joy now will give pain later. So that is the dosha drishti, seeing the defects. And the second one is antarmukhatvam. Antarmukhatvam. That is turning your attention towards yourself. Only when you pay attention to your emotions and your feelings, then you will know where you stand in terms of managing the sense organs. Whether our emotions and feelings are within the management limit or outside, exceeded the scope of management. Therefore, we have to refrain from being extroverted. Bahirmukhatvam. When you are Bahirmukhi, you will not be able to focus on yourself. You will not be available for yourself. Therefore, for self-evaluation, not self-judgment, for self-evaluation, we need to focus on ourselves. And that is antarmukhatvam. For that, we need to have certain time for ourselves, spend certain time in solitude, and focus on oneself. Then the next one is dhriti. Dhriti. Dhriti means courage, strength. The strength of restraining or withdrawal. Withdrawal of sense organs towards sense objects is a great strength. For example, a tortoise, it knows when it sees any impending danger, it will withdraw all its four legs and its head inside its shell. How much ever you try to pull it out, it will not stretch its legs and the head. So, like the tortoise, one should withdraw oneself completely. A spiritual aspirant should be able to withdraw completely his sense organs when he feels that the contact with the sense organs and the sense object is not going to help him spiritually. And that is what said in the Gita, the second chapter, 58 shloka. In the Sthitat Prajna Lakshana, Bhagavan says, Yada samharate chayam kurmonganiva sarvashaha indriyana indriyastebhyaha tasya prajna pratishtita. His prajna, his wisdom is pratishtita, is steady. Whose as the tortoise, it withdraws all the sense organs towards itself. Similarly, indriyani. Indriyani is panchagyani, panchakarmendryani. All should be withdrawn from indriyarthebhyaha. Indriya arthebhyaha. Sense objects. The sense organs should be withdrawn from the sense objects, like the kurma, like the tortoise. And that is the Sthitat Prajna Lakshana. Therefore, this restraining of the sense organs and bringing back to Shravanam, Mananam, and Vidyasanam, that is called Damaha. The restraining the sense organs is not for the sake of restraining, just restraining. It is for the application of the faculty on that which will take us forward in our spiritual journey. Therefore, overcoming of the obstacles which the sense organs provide by contact with the sense organs, it requires certain mastery over sense organs. For example, when I listen to the class, my ears should be with me. My ears should not go towards towards a movie song which is played somewhere. Similarly, my eyes should see what I want to see. When I stand in front of the altar in the temple, my eyes should see only the Bhagavan. should see the form of the Bhagavan and not the people moving around. This is what generally we see in the temples. Most of the people they do what is not supposed to be done in the temple. Therefore, one has to be very alert with the senses. So you have to watch it and observe its behavior. You should not allow the sense organs to flow wherever they want. You should withdraw them. You should have the capability to withdraw them and direct them where we want them to flow. Therefore, Nigraha is channelizing the flow of sense organs like channelizing the flow of water by constructing a dam. The dam is not an obstacle for the water flow. Though it seems to be an obstruction for the water flow, it is meant for channelizing the water to the areas where water is not there, or to avoid the flow of water into the ocean and getting wasted. That is what a dam is meant for. Similarly, the restriction of the sense organs, when the sense organs are properly directed, it will allow only that data, that information to enter the mind, which are conducive to spiritual growth. And sense organs, they are like the door for the external objects to enter our mind. So we need to have a close watch on the door. Always keep the door closed when anything unwanted wants to enter. Therefore, be alert, watchful. That alertness, that alert life, not casual life, that is what is required for the discovery of oneself. Therefore, Dhamma is not just closing the eyes or plugging the ears. Generally, people think Dhamma is just shutting down the sense organs. No, it is not just for closing the eyes or plugging the ears. Sparshan Krutva Bhagir Bhagya. Gita says in the 5th chapter, keep the external things external. Let the external things not enter inside of you. Don't allow them inside. Don't internalize. And that intelligent way of handling the sense organs is called Dhamma. Therefore, understand that we are not asking for the destruction of the sense organs. We are not. We don't say that sense organs should be destroyed. No, in fact, the sense organs should be well managed, and we ask, in fact, for the healthy sense organs so that it will be conducive for our spiritual growth. That is what in many of the Shanti Pata we chant when we do the prayers. For example, when we study Kenopanishad, we chant a Shanti Pata. Kenopanishad belongs to Samaveda, and Samaveda has got a particular Shanti Pata. The Shanti Pata of the Samaveda, it starts like this. Apyayantu mamangani Vak pranas chakshushrotramато balamindriyani cha sarvani sarvam brahma upanishadam maham brahma nirakuryam ma brahma nirakarot anirakaranamastu anirakaranam me astu paratmani nirate upanishad sudharma sevai santu. So yeah, apyayantu mamangani. What does it mean? Mama angani, mama sarvani angani apyayantu. All the limbs of my body grow. Let it be healthy. Mama vak is speech. Pranaha, chakshuhu. Chakshuhu means it's only a upalakshana. Chakshu means eyes. It means we can bring all the other sense organs. Similarly, vak is only a upalakshana. By vak we can bring all the karmendriyani. So let all the organs of action and the organs of perception be endowed with strength. We need healthy sense organs so that I can inquire into the nature of Brahman. That is what the prayer is. Therefore, managing the sense organs by shifting the direction of its flow from the external world to the pursuit of Vedanta. That is called Dhamma. That is what we are interested in. In our beginning of the spiritual journey, it is better to avoid certain situations because we may not have the total mastery in the beginning. Since the sense organs are subject to particular way of behavior, so in the beginning we may find difficult to manage it. Therefore, it is better to avoid certain situations. But avoidance is also called Dhamma. If we avoid then we can prevent the sense organs from certain data which are not conducive to us from the external world. So therefore, to avoid what is to be avoided, that is Dhamma. But you cannot avoid all the time. Sometimes we have to perceive certain things when we open up. The sense organs doesn't have any door. Once your eye is open, so you have to see. Your nose doesn't have door. Your ears doesn't have door. So when it operates, when it hears the sound or when the smell comes, naturally it perceives. So that time we have to use our free will to withdraw the mind. We cannot blame the sense organs. The sense organs, they are just the reporters. They report what they perceive. But we can check what is reported by the application of our mind. Therefore, that is why when Dhamma fails, Shama should come into operation. Bring Shama into operation. Shama is mastery. Your mind should be with you. Similarly, when Shama fails, you bring Dhamma into operation. So in both ways, when Dhamma fails, you bring Shama into operation. You have a check at the level of Shama, at the level of mind. When Shama fails, you bring into operation Dhamma. For example, you get angry. You get angry, anger has come. It has entered you. Now your mind reports that you are in anger. So when your mind reports your feeling of anger, that itself shows the Shama has failed. The first line of defense, the protection, it has failed. Anger has entered you and it has overpowered you. That your mind reports. Now, your mind is agitated. It's provoked. So, Shama has failed. Though Shama has failed, you can make Dhamma active and protect yourself from the damage by the second line of defense. Shama is the first line of defense, and when it fails, then you can protect yourself by the second line of defense that you operate from Dhamma. When you bring Dhamma into operation, then you can tell the person with whom you are angry with, you can tell them, let us not talk now, we'll talk later. So that is called Dhamma. You have control over your tongue and not react immediately to the person who made you angry, and you say, let us talk now, we will talk later. That itself is Dhamma. Though the mind is agitated, but you have control over your organs, your speech. That is Dhamma. You are angry, but at the same time, you intelligently avoid the conflict with the person by postponing the dialogue for some other time. So that is Dhamma. But here the thing is, Dhamma cannot solve the problem. Dhamma cannot solve the problem. Dhamma must be followed by Shama. If Dhamma is not there, then the anger will be there. The anger will not be resolved. So what we need to do is we have to resolve the cause of the anger. And therefore, to resolve the cause of the anger, to resolve those emotions, which means to express them appropriately without hurting yourself and others, you may adopt certain methods to resolve those. Puji Samaji, you used to say, when you are in anger and you cannot even want to express, when you just go away from the situation, from the place, and still if you feel the anger is there inside, you would say you take a wet towel, you take a towel and make it wet, take a wet towel and put it on the floor with forcefully. So that is a one small technique. That's a small technique by which you can avoid anger. So this is one small technique which somebody used to say that. Or you can write a letter. Write whatever you feel about the person. So you can write a letter, but don't send it to that person. You can write it and read it later and throw it away. Or another method is you can pray to Bhagavan. You can pray to Bhagavan, and so that you can see everything is in order. Everything is in order, in the order of Ishvara. Even the behavior of the person is in keeping with the order. In this way, you can validate the person what the person did. You will understand that anyone with the same background would do the same thing. So that is what is seeing the order. It is not to justify the behavior of the person. It is just to validate the person. To see that the behavior of the person is in keeping with the order. The person has a certain background, therefore the person behaves in a particular manner. If the background was not there, then that person would not have behaved in that way. So the background influences the behavior. So everyone's behavior isn't keeping with the order. It doesn't mean that it is right. Because something is in order doesn't mean it is right, but it is in order. So when you appreciate the order, then you develop a certain commitment to growth, spiritual growth, and since our commitment also is growth, we can practice Dhamma. And here, an important thing to be noted with regard to the important sense organ, that is the tongue, the mastery over tongue. Our tongue has two functions. It has two functions. One is a function of taste, the other is a function of talk. Tasting tongue and the talking tongue. The tongue has dual function. The mastery over tasting tongue is eating only those things which are conducive to our physical as well as spiritual health. Certain items are conducive to physical health, but not for our spiritual health. Therefore, one has to carefully exercise the choice over what is consumed and how much. When you
Sharanji, this is Anuradha. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear you either.
Can't hear either. No audio.
Maybe some technical issue with the light.
So therefore, the mastery over the tasting tongue is very important. And another important, more important is the mastery over the talking tongue. That is called Vak Nirodha, Vak Tapas. In fact, the very first point in our spiritual sadhana is this mastery over the organ of speech. When we talk too much, then we should observe ourselves and realize that there is some pressure, some helplessness to talk. There is nothing wrong in talking, but when there is too much talk, then there is something else is there. Therefore, we have to is highly talked about. It is talked about. If you remember, go ahead.
We'll have problems, sir. You need to go back another minute or so. We lost several sentences. Can't hear you.
Okay. I was talking about the mastery over the talking tongue. Talking
Hear you again, Sharanji.
as a very
Now it's okay. Suddenly we again lost it. It's getting broken in between.
I don't know why.
Something to do
just
with the
give me a
talking
minute.
tongue.
Okay, just a minute. Let me come back. So I was talking about the talking tongue. We are discussing about the Vak Tapas. That is the discipline with regard to the organ of justice. I was quoting from the Bhagavad Gita, the 17th chapter, 15th shloka. The shloka says, Anudvegakaram Vakyam. Anudvegakaram Vakyam Satyam Priyahitam Chayat. Svadhyaya Vyasanam Cheva Vangmayam Tapa Uchyate. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
One person?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Just
Can hear.
making sure. Yeah, okay. Thank you. So, Anudvegakaram Vakyam. Anudvegakaram is now Udvegakaram, not hurt. Our speech, our words should not hurt the other person. Even if we make fun, that should hurt the other person. When you know that what you want to say, if it will hurt someone, then don't hate. By not saying we are not going to lose anything. So that hurting need not be only physical. Even by words, you can hurt the other person. And that is the first in Vakas. Saying what is that avoiding what us hurt the other person. So one has to have it will hurt the other person and refrain from saying that. That is the vak tapas. So if it comes naturally, you have the mastery over your talking tongue. The second one in the shloka, Anudvegakaram, the second one is Satyam. What we speak should be Satyam. Satyam Vada, Dharmam Chara. So what you say should be the truth. It should be truthful. The third one is Priyam. Not only Satyam, it should be Priyam. It should be pleasant to the listeners. You may speak the truth, but if it is not pleasant, then nobody will be there to listen to you. Therefore, even though when you speak the truth, make sure that it is pleasant. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, na bruyat satyam apriyam. Even though what you speak is satyam, satyam is unpleasant, don't say even that. Don't say unpleasant truth. Then the next one is hitam. Hitam is that should benefit the other person. When you open your mouth and say something you want to say, something you want to convey to the other person, that should be helpful to the other person. The conversation should be beneficial to the other person. Therefore, this vak tapas, this mastery over the organ of speech, it's very important, and it is the first thing recommended for a spiritual sadhaka in this spiritual journey. So now we know what Dhamma is. Having understood what Dhamma is, now we will see the significance of what Dhamma is. Dhamma at different levels of organs, at different levels of sense organs and the organs of perception. What we talked about tongue is applicable to other organs also. But since tongue is it's important, it plays a vital role, therefore we talked about the particular sense organ. But that what we talked about, that particular sense organ is applicable to the other organs also. Therefore, having mastery, the management over all the organs is Dhamma. Having understood that, now we will see what is the significance, what is the importance of Dhamma in our spiritual journey. How does it help us? How does Dhamma help us? The first thing is, the first significance is, Dhamma, it helps the sadhaka, the spiritual aspirant, to strengthen or to maintain Shama. Dhamma reinforces Shama. By Dhamma, restraining the sense organs from the external sense objects, you allow only that information, that data which is helpful, which is conducive for you to allow to enter the mind. Therefore, Dhamma, it helps to maintain Shama. Dhamma is like a firewall. It keeps a check on the inflow of the data into the mind, so that the mind can maintain its composure. You can be at peace. So if Dhamma is operative, it's well managed, then the Shama will be there automatically. That is the first significance of having Dhamma. The second one is, Dhamma will help to avoid guilt and hurt. If you see the guilt and the hurt, it comes because of losing control over our sense organs. We saw just now about the speech. Once the words come out from your mouth, it hurts the other person, then the damage is done. If you have mastery, if you withdraw, if you restrain the talking tongue, then you can avoid hurting the other person. Therefore, if Dhamma is not there, then I will do something which I will regret afterwards. Therefore, to avoid guilt and to avoid hurting others, So we need Dhamma. And Dhamma, it helps a lot to conserve our time and energy. We don't have to spend time on unnecessary things. If we have Dhamma, then we are free from many problems. So if you are free from many problems, then you have time and you have space for yourself. And how to get this Dhamma? How to develop Dhamma? One of the means to get Dhamma is by following certain religious practices. So you can say for a certain period of time, you can say no to certain things. Like, for example, Mauna Vrata, taking the vow of silence. Mauna Vrata. By observing silence, you save a lot of energy. You have a lot of time for yourself. In fact, Puja Swamiji observes once a week. Not anyone. Even read books. You can read books, but if it diverts your attention, then don't do that also. Avoid using cell phone. Avoid watching television. So watch yourself. Do meditation. If you are a person who talks too much and wants to reduce your talkings, then this maunam can help you. And this maunam can be observed for once in a week. So by observing maunam, we can reduce the chatter of your mind. So when you reduce the chatter of your mind, the mind will be available for you to shravanam. You can be diverted towards something which is very helpful to you. Similarly, upavasam also helps. Upavasam, it helps to increase the willpower. People generally, they fast on Ekadashi day. And Ekadashi, they observe upavasa, either by not eating or by eating something light. It's a very good practice. Once in a fortnight, we can fast. We can have either full fast or semi-fast, or we can skip lunch or dinner. So by doing so, what we learn is, we learn to say no to setting bhoga. That is called tapas. That is a phrase which I read somewhere. Ekadashyam dine bhojana dvayam kartavya. Ekadashyam dine bhojana dvayam kartavya. So what do we understand? Ekadashyam dine. During Ekadashi day, bhojana dvayam kartavya. Bhojana means what? What we understand by bhojana is food. Bhojana dvayam. Two types of food should be taken. We are talking about fasting on Ekadashi, and you are saying bhojana dvayam kartavyam. We have to have two types of food. What is this? Is it not contradictory? No, here bhojana is food. That is what Sanskrit is. You see the picture of Sanskrit. Bhojana is. Bo is one word, jana is another word. It is sambodhana. Bo jana. E jana. You are calling the people, you are addressing the people. It is vocative. E Rama. Iti. Bo jana. O people, Ekadashyam dine. Bo jana. O people, kartavyam. Dvayam kartavyam. Dvayam is two things to be done. What are they? Upavasa and upasana. That is what it means. It doesn't mean we have to have two types of food on that day. Bhojana dvayam kartavyam. O people, two things are to be done on the Ekadashi day. What are they? One is upavasa, other one is upasana. That is why during Ekadashi day, people observe upavasa and they do Vishnu Sahasranama Parayana. So that is what is dvayam kartavyam. Not bhojanam dvayam kartavyam, upavasa upasana dvayam kartavyam. And that is what tapas. And by tapas, we develop Dhamma. Therefore, we can practice tapas to our convenience, to our limit. Whatever it is possible with our limit, to that extent we can practice tapas, and that helps to develop Another way to get Dhamma is introspection, self-introspection. Self-introspection without self-judgment. We should not make a judgment about the activity of our sense organs. Don't make a self-judgment. Self-judgment is not good. It should be self-introspection. Suppose if I talk too much, then I need to pay a little more attention to what I say. Not to blame myself because I talk too much. What I need to do is, without judging myself with objectivity, I have to look at my speech. I should develop the habit of introspecting what I speak, how much I speak. That is one way by which we can develop Dhamma. Another way of developing Dhamma is you have the company of people who have Dhamma. That is important. You have the company of people who have got a similar mindset, who are committed to spiritual growth. That's important. Contact with the people of the same thinking, same thoughts. That is important. That is satsanga. Satsangascha vivekascha nirmalam nayanadvayam yasya nasti naras sontaha katam nasyat margavaha. That is satsanga and viveka. Nirmalam nayanadvayam. These are the nirmalam nayanadvayam, two eyes. Company of the good people. And the viveka. Each is compared to one eye. Each is compared to the eyes of us. So if the person has these two eyes, then how can he walk on the wrong path? If the person doesn't have these two eyes, yasya nasti narasondaha, then how can he not walk through the wrong path? That is what this Subhashitam says. So therefore, develop and practice Dhamma by any of the practice, by any of the methods, what you prefer. And since it is a very important quality, and since it comes after Shama, why it is mentioned after Shama? Because if Shama is there, then we don't need Dhamma. When Shama is not there, then we need Dhamma. That is why Dhamma is mentioned after Shama. And what is Dhamma? Being alert to what I think and what I perceive is Dhamma, which is another important qualification in the Shatkam. After Dhamma, then comes the next qualification, which is Uparamaha, which we will discuss in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.